Hey, Craig here. In this video I'm going to start handling over 15 years of procrastination and neglect. This is just years of collection of different businesses that I started and different ideas that I had that didn't quite work out. And it's just been piling up. And every time I look at this mess, I'm just like kind of overwhelmed about what I'm going to do with it all. And the amount of time it's going to take to get through all of this. I got powder coating guns that I'm not using. My son's hubcaps here. It's just a great big pile. And every time I'll clean out the shop or something like that, you know, I'll just like, oh, just throw it all out here so the shop is nice and clean and stuff. I got a table saw stuck down there. Of course I want to keep that. I've got a higher quality powder coating gun there, lots of powder. The powder is probably bad now because of the heat. So a little backstory on why I decided to start doing all this cleaning up of this carport and all. Basically I've been watching a TV show called The Profit. It's basically a TV show where an investor goes in and he basically helps failing businesses. Not that my business is failing or anything, but you know, the stuff that he's teaching on here can be used by any business. Anyway, if you haven't seen the show, it's on NBC, CNBC or something like that. If you don't see it on TV, I think you can like buy them on iTunes or something like that. But basically, one of the first things he does when he goes into a business is he looks and sees if the place is disorganized. And he has them go through and clean everything up. And if they've got a bunch of old inventory stuff they're not selling, basically, you know, money just sitting there in a warehouse or something like that, he has them go through and liquidate it and pay bills and uses it for inventory, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of following that. It's like a first step that I'm doing to like really, you know, push the business is to get all this taken care of. So I guess the plan of attack is I'm going to try to clear out the entrance here so I can get in and out. Some of the stuff I'm going to have to put back where it was after I'm done, because this roller here is for the bandsaw here, so that needs to stay. But I'm going to take it out temporarily so I can get things in and out easy. Basically, I'm just going to pull everything out, create a walkway, and as I'm pulling stuff out, start sorting out what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to throw away. I've got a trash can and a recycling bin out here. Hey Oliver, hey boy. Anyway, so I got the rollers out of here temporarily. Moved all that stuff that was under the rollers up here, a bunch of lighting ballasts and stuff from the last company. So I'm continuing to work through this mess here. Okay, well now I can actually walk around in here, kind of. Still have quite a bit of things to do here. I don't know, I may end up selling this small drill press here. I'm not sure about the compressor yet. Still have to find a place to store that in here. And got to get the stove out. I got to clear all this stuff off here, get that out. Still trying to decide on the sandblasting enclosure there. But at least I can get around in here now. Of course I have this whole pile of handled stuff, brooms and shovels and all that stuff. I think I'm going to put all of that stuff where the stove is there now. Okay, so the stuff I've put on offer up so far from that clean out there is this air compressor that's not working properly, this 12-inch shear that didn't work out, a cable tugger, electrician's cable tugger that I don't use anymore. I don't know. I'm selling the DeWalt multi-cut too. I don't really have enough room for it. I don't really use it much. I use the bandsaw for most of the things I do. Also have the Eastwood powder gun. I actually have 3 of them, so I'm just selling them one at a time. And extra impulse bag sealer that I have. And the skill saw. I got like 3 jigsaws here, so. Okay, well, it got really hot during the day. The clouds moved away, and so I went inside and did a bunch of stuff. Now I'm out here in the evening, just trying to clean up, put everything back. I got the oven out of here. I moved the compressor back there. I got the cheap Harbor Freight drill press put on offer up. And yeah, I got all the long handled stuff, shovels and whatnot, put back in there. So pretty much got everything off the floor, just kind of wrapping up for the day. Gonna head inside with the family, and tomorrow I have to start tackling this stuff on the benches and on the shelves. So looks like I've got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. So okay, so I started by going through everything that's in here that I know I want to keep in here, and counted how many shelves I actually have to organize things by, and then made a list of all those different categories of things. The top of the benches here, I'm going to leave for everything that's going to be sold on Craigslist or on OfferUp or on eBay and stuff. So after I did that, I went through and actually labeled each of the shelves just with a Sharpie. Like down here, I've already have this kind of organized that way anyway, so I'm just going to leave those there. Large power tools there. I left one shelf just for other, because there's always like a bunch of stuff you just don't know what to do with. I got one shelf up here that I'm just going to leave for family stuff, just stuff that we can't stick anywhere else, and it doesn't matter that it's outside, and we can just kind of stuff it up there. Down here, I'm going to be getting rid of most of this powder coating stuff because I'm just farming out powder coating. I may set up a tiny little booth for emergency stuff. But the bottom shelf I'm going to have for electrical. This top shelf right here is just going to be for all the stuff for my lighting business. In case I ever have to go back to that, I don't want to just basically throw it all away or sell it for nothing and then not be able to go back to it. Over here, I've labeled the shelf tools, toolboxes, and bags. All the little toolboxes like this, and pouches, and all that kind of stuff. Over here, I've labeled it as large tools. You always have these large tile cutting tools and large drywall tools and that kind of stuff. Stuff I can't fit in the little drawers inside the shop. I got one shelf down here just for paint and chemicals, all that kind of stuff. And over here, I'm going to put some of those small parts drawers like this. I actually stuck most of them in the shop, but I think there's just too many in there. I'm basically going to put all of, maybe put 4 of these out here, 3 or 4 of these out here, and just put all the little screws and bolts and all that kind of stuff. So, and after I do that, I'm probably going to have this room in the back here. I'm not sure what I'm going to stick back there yet, but and then of course I'll have this. I don't know, maybe I'll try to keep this clear so I can work out here on stuff, and then try to put all the for sale stuff on this L-shaped bench here, and eventually once I get it all sold, then I'll have all that bench space too for working. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear off this center bench here. just so I have some place to like sort through stuff, and so I actually have a clear view through the shop, and so I can actually put the camera up on one side and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm basically just going to take all this stuff outside temporarily. Actually, that wasn't too bad, and it looks a lot better in here. I think I'm actually going to do the same thing with all this stuff over here. Just move it outside temporarily. Maybe take 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. It'll make it a lot easier to work in here. Okay, well that was definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be. I think partly because the sun is coming out here, and I think it's pushing 90-95 degrees. But I haven't seen this much counter space or workbench space in a long time. I don't know why, but it seems like every time I decide to do something like this, it's like in the middle of summertime. Okay, well it looks a lot better in here now, but I've got a mess out here. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take everything that's down below on a shelf that I've labeled with a category, or most of it, not all of it, and basically just move it up on to the benches. And then from that point, I could take all that stuff and sort it into the locations. The problem is you can't put anything in the location if it's full of stuff. So I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it, but it's better than taking everything outside and then bringing it back in. So I'm basically just going to move everything up. You know, some things obviously I'll pick up and say, oh, well, I don't need this, or oh, I can move this straight over to here or something. So I may do that to try and save time. So what I'll do is move all that stuff up, all this stuff up, move all this stuff up. Maybe I'll leave these drawers down here because they're staying there. Obviously all this stuff down here is staying there. I've got a filing cabinet that I need to look into, but all of this stuff here, just move it onto the benches here, and all this stuff. Maybe start moving this powder coating stuff out to somewhere until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. So, all right. Okay, well I got that part done. I didn't actually take a minute to even stop to think about anything. I just kept on moving and moving. I figured if I started thinking too much, I would just overthink things and I just wouldn't get it done. So my objective was just to get those shelves cleared off. So I got all of those shelves that I was talking about cleared off, except for that one down there, which is pretty much all power tools except for that. But anyways, kind of a mess now, but now I'm just going to go through and clean it all out, get the vacuum out, vacuum all this powder off from powder coating, vacuum off the shelves. I'll go ahead and vacuum the floor too. And then move on to the next step, was basically to start sorting this stuff into those categories that I was talking about. All right, now that's all cleaned out and cleaned up and stuff, or semi-cleaned up, but I'm going to start with the category of chemicals, paints and chemicals, because I think that's probably going to be the easiest one to do and make the biggest impact, and also it's kind of not the kind of thing I just want to go leaving outside. So I'll go ahead and start with that first. Okay, well, I got all the paints and chemicals, all that kind of stuff gathered together here. I cannot believe how much stuff I have here. I put all the big buckets of paint back there. Actually, none of this paint is for my house. This is all from like old houses or houses we're not in, or different colors we don't even use anymore in this house. And I've got tons of spray paint. I mean, I've got all these small things of paint and stain and stuff. I mean, I don't even remember buying half this stuff. I don't think I did buy it. I think I inherited some of this stuff, but I don't know. I need to get rid of a lot of this stuff, but the problem is my particular city, I guess they're building a hazardous waste facility that you can take this stuff to. Maybe they have some events at some point, but I think it's supposed to be in September. So basically I need to store a bunch of this stuff until that point. I mean, I've got all these things of coolant, and I think most of them are too old. I didn't buy all of them. Like I said, I inherited some of this stuff. I gotta figure out which one's new, because they're all kind of mixed up now. So I'm basically just gonna take all the stuff and just shove it down on this shelf right here, and when the hazardous waste event comes up, or when the facility's done, I'm just gonna sort through all this stuff and just take, like, I don't know, 80% of this stuff and just take it over there. Alright, I got all the paint and chemicals back in there. I think the next thing I'm going to move on to is getting all of the lighting material, light bulbs, ballasts, all that kind of stuff, and the electrical material back on these two shelves here. Okay, well, I basically got everything cleaned up outside and put back in here, kind of organized. I got all the electrical stuff down there, all my lighting stuff up there, just some small things over there, concrete stuff and some boxes. Managed to get the table saw in there and some stuff on top. Some other miscellaneous, some household stuff up here. I ended up putting the powder coating stuff right there. Got some buckets for organizing some of the stuff. So that part of the project is complete. So now I have to start getting into some of the detail of this other stuff. I need to start going through all these boxes and sorting all this stuff out. And that will have to be another day. Alright, well, that's it for this video. If you like this video, I'd appreciate the thumbs up. If you'd like to leave any comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you'd like to subscribe, there should be a subscribe button over here, and some other videos you might want to watch down below. And thanks for watching.